This is how you end your career. One single video. Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Jack Frags and today we are playing some Destiny. Hold on. I can explain myself. You ever see those E3 trailers or really any trailers for game where it's the company that gets some voice actors to have some really cringy dialogue of people pretending like they're enjoying the game, getting all tactical and shit?
Gotcha. Okay, I'm close to the building. I'll try to find a way in. You saw anything else?
Oh man, I think he was dissolving somebody.
Like in a can of acid or something.
Yeah, looked pretty nasty.
Yeah, that kind of stuff everybody looks at and they say, there's no way I would have that similar experience with my friends. If you have any friends to begin with. But I got together with two of my buds and we actually played Destiny. Since it is on the Blizzard Battle.net app and it was the free weekend, I decided to give the game a try. And I actually had a lot of fun with it. Now I'm somebody who never plays FPSs. For the longest time I've enjoyed the idea of MMOs because they bring this aspect of games that I personally enjoy, and the aspect that I found back with the original Star Wars Battlefront 1 and 2 back on PlayStation 2 when I was a young chap. Now for the longest time I wasn't a huge fan of games where it's like, you're the hero, the game revolves around you. I kind of like the idea of being just a speck of dust on the bigger picture. Instead of my story being advanced, with my actions I help advance the story of the world. I always loved that, so MMOs really drew me in, and World of Warcraft kind of satisfies all aspects of this, whether it be some personal story with, I guess, with the artifact weapon, the Order Hall missions, and a little bit of that champion, you're the hero, but also watching Illidan advance the Illidari, seeing the Champions of Light on Argus. Like, that is what I love more than my personal character story. My personal character story, I'm the guy going around kill Jaden on a lockout on normal and heroic once a week. That's fine for me. But I'm watching Illidan destroy the Naru. That's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother point of excitement. But this game was a bit of a stretch for me to even try. And I'm not even sure if I'll still buy it. But it was definitely a lot of fun. If you're not familiar with Destiny, it's basically kind of a blend of Halo-ish, Call of Duty-ish combat of shooting guns. It even has a similar feel to that of Halo or even Call of Duty. I actually would even say it's more Call of Duty-esque in terms of just the way the guns look and then the combat feels. But then you have the Halo aspects of, I guess, the dudes walking around in all the armor, kind of looking like Halo Spartans. And then some of the aspects like the nade throwing and the enemies really do remind me of that of Halo mobs from, I guess, back in the day. And he also mixes aspects of MMO in terms of your armor customizability, the stats that you get with your armor, the different DPS that your different guns put out, and being able to adjust that DPS to, or those guns, to different mechanics. Like for example, this is a dungeon right here. We have a main boss, and this boss has a few transition stages. The boss has a weak point, which is the head, so you want to primarily aim for the head, but then you have add phases on every transition stage, and then you have aspects where you gotta, you know, the floor is lava, so you gotta get up on a high ground and stay there as best as you can and try to DPS the boss down, who will switch from player to player to player. It's really all about finding cover if the boss is on you, and then trying to maximize the damage whenever the boss isn't focusing you at all, while also being able to deal with adds. So you have these aspects of you're playing Halo or you're playing Call of Duty, but then you have these MMO-ish aspects like the boss mechanics and then the revive system. In terms of, let's say, the holy trinity of what I'm used to and what I love, the tank healer DPS combo, where you have a guy who will hold the aggro, a healer who will heal the party, and the DPS who will dish out the damage and try to avoid mechanics as best as they can. You don't really have that. It's more a split responsibility system where everybody gets a gun and everybody shoots. And that's the part that a lot of people don't like. I'll say, if you're somebody who plays MMOs regularly, you kind of like the idea of your specialization has a specific role, and that's all you can really do when it comes to your role. You have to be able to stick with your role, and your role is there for a reason. Let's say you are a support class, whether you are a healer or you're a class that provides support buffs for friendlies. That's your role, that is your goal, that is what you do. And that makes you special within your party. When you give everybody guns, it kind of takes away that speciality out of it, but it adds a fun aspect of shooting. You're shooting things. You're jumping around and just unloading all these guns at enemies. So it gives this whole different aspect of, yes, on one hand you're not really specialized, but you do have special, I guess, utilities. Like for example, my class is technically a tank. I can drop a shield and I can clear mobs fairly quickly because I decided to do the DPS spec of my tank-like spec. I think it's called the Titan. And I could have gotten more tanky, more defensive, and have a shield where I think it can reflect attacks at enemies. But here I decided to go more of a damage one, so I can bring in damage whenever, you know, let's say we overrun a mob, so I can turn into the Flash and literally just sprint around and tackle things like I'm in the NFL. And then when things get hectic, drop a shield and draw bosses aggro with a minigun. There's also classes like Warlock who can have healing aspects and damage aspects. And there's a really agile hero, because I think his name is the Hunter. My buddy played that one. I think all you do is damage, but you get to decide whether you want to be more of like a gunslinger, you know, maybe close quarter combat, maybe a long range kind of guy, and you can customize how you want to deal damage to enemies. I thought it was really cool is the aspects of customization in this game. It tries to bridge in that, I guess, simplicity of the gun and run and gun mechanics, the shooting aspects of a game, with blends of an MMO, so it doesn't quite get you this in detail MMO experience of, like, let's say, think vanilla World of Warcraft type of deal, where it was all about, you know, number crunching and trying to figure out your chances of success being 3.33, repeating of course, but it also has these aspects of gunfire, and it's like tries to complicate itself as an FPS, but it also tries to make itself more interesting as a... It tries to complicate itself as an FPS, but tries to make itself a little bit even easier to understand as an MMO. So it's not quite an MMO, but it's not quite an FPS either. So I thought that was weird, but also kind of interesting, because I just didn't think that would even work properly. And I ended up having a lot of fun with it, to be honest. A ton of fun, and surprised me. Now, I would actually recommend this game for you guys to try, although the beta is probably gone. I'm pretty sure they'll have another open beta, and whenever that's available, you guys definitely should give this game at least a go. I don't know if you're somebody who maybe enjoys FPS, so maybe Overwatch is kind of like in your ballpark of a game, or maybe you're a huge fan of MMOs and FPS is just way too, that's kiddie stuff, that's easy. Anybody can pick up a gun and shoot. And this game is basically like this MMO blend with Overwatch aspects to it as well. I thought that was really interesting, and I don't really know. I guess all I can say is you guys should definitely at least give this game a shot. I didn't know that I would enjoy it as much as I did, but I did. I thought that was pretty cool. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I don't think I'll be making any more Destiny videos on this, but as of you watching this video right now, hopefully you finished at the end, we are streaming the 5.5.1 duels, so check out the channel, check out the stream, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.